So, little commentary video here with some tips and whatnot. Um, this is going to be about my workouts for push and pull, but more specifically, handstand training and weighted pull-ups. So, I did something a little bit different, something that I don't usually do, and that is lifted some weights. So the first exercise I did for my handstand training was actually a behind the neck seated strict press with a barbell, of course, as you can see. I actually really like this exercise, and it's a really good one for overall pushing strength if you have the shoulder mobility in order to be able to do it. I did 3 sets of 8, and I worked up to 55 pounds, which is what I have right now on the bar. The last 2 sets, I stuck with the same weight. But pretty good exercise here for your mid-back, your front delts, triceps, and also your lateral delts, side delts. Behind the neck strict press is really overlooked in terms of overall exercise programming, I think. But it's really beneficial if you have the mobility for it. Next exercise was pike push-ups, did 3 sets of 4. And with these pike push-ups, I really try to aim to keep my forearm as vertical as possible without much movement forwards, backwards, or sideways. And I'm at the point now where with my pike push-ups, I'm starting to lift off the ground a little bit as I get better with my form and my strength. As you saw just then, there was a big lift off. So using these to build that overhead pushing strength and overall pushing strength for handstand push-ups. And that is a huge lift off there. I got some airtime on that one. But with these, I found it best to try to keep your core tight. You actually want your back rounded a little bit because it helps you eventually get that lift off. And then third and final exercise for that day was, of course, handstand holds. Trying to do handstand holds anyways. I have a few good ones, but it took longer than I wanted to in order to really warm up and get my body acclimated to being in that position. Because I am a total beginner to handstands. I have never held a handstand in my life. I was not a gymnast when I was younger or anything like that. So handstands right now has got to be my most challenging exercise, or I guess skill to learn. But I'm really just focusing on trying to get my time up while I'm on my hands. Focusing on good form and really concentrating on my body positioning. I am by no means an expert, as you can tell, but I think I've finally broken through the wall, and now every workout that I do where I do handstand holds, I can feel myself noticeably getting better, and it doesn't take as much time for me to get acclimated, so therefore less overall time in the workout and better holds. This hold you just saw, I started fatiguing a little bit, so I started slowly going down. That's another reason why I'm trying to get better at my holds. The better you can do holds, the less fatigue you have, so therefore the better your holds are going to be. second workout in this video is my weighted pull-up video. Here I am, like, messing around with the weights and shit and getting my hands chalked up. So I didn't record my 3 like warm-up sets before this, just because I wanted to save some time and save some screwing around with my phone at the gym, so I could really just focus on getting the reps in and concentrating on my workout. But I did 3 sets of 6 at 80% of my 1 rep max. My 1 rep max right now is 95 pounds. So I was working with like 75 pounds here. This first clip that I used, you can't really see the weight all that well, but I move it back, or move the camera back to a better position so you can see the weight fully in the next set. I was really working on my like explosive pulls here too. So I was dead stopping at every rep. And there's only 2 sets filmed for this, or at least for the YouTube video, because I don't have like a secondary camera to set up, and I always post my whatever day it is in my journey to an 80 kilogram pull-up on my Instagram. So the first set, I had the camera vertical, just so it would format better on Instagram for me. So that's why there's only 2 sets shown here. But I did do 3 overall. So this is the last set. You can see the weight a little bit better there. 45, 25, and a 5. My core is looking fucking shredded. Same thing on this last set. Really focusing on that explosive power and not using any momentum. So still doing the dead stop reps. And that's the end of that. I always do core too on my weighted pull-up days, but I didn't film that either just because I wanted to hurry up and get out of there. I was on kind of a bit of a strict timetable today, so the less filming, the less editing I had to do, the better. And I finished off with some muscle ups. This is actually my rep PR for muscle ups, like all time. I did like 8, I think. I would have done more, but my fucking palms were like shredded afterwards. Like the skin was like fucked up, calluses fucked up, everything fucked up. But that is going to conclude the video. Thanks for watching.